Hey everyone, happy Monday. I just wanted to take a little bit of time to talk about something that I feel is very important. And it's something that I've recently started to do, and I've done it for a while, just for different things. And I just taught a class on this, but it's about goal setting, okay? So why is goal setting important? Well, it's because it allows you to focus your energies on a specific task that you want to achieve. It helps you to trigger new behaviors, right? So that you can accomplish this task or whatever this goal is. And it helps sustain momentum and provides you encouragement to support those changes you want to make, okay? I know I look really sweaty right now, and actually that's because I was just working on trying to achieve the goal that I just recently set. So just in the last few weeks, I decided I have a new goal. I'm gonna try to run a mile without stopping. And that's a pretty big task for me because honestly, I'm a terrible runner. And I'm a terrible runner because I actually hate running. It's my least favorite thing in the world to do, right? But all of a sudden, I felt like I had to try to accomplish this goal. And at first, when I thought about it, I thought, well, why do I want to do this, right? Because you should always have a very specific reason as to why you want to accomplish a goal, right? And so I initially thought about it. I thought to myself, well, I want to do it because there's not a lot of Americans today that can actually run a mile without stopping. But as I thought more about it, right, what occurred to me was that wasn't the real reason, right? So something that's really important about setting goals, and the reason I want to talk about it, and part of the reason why I did this class at my ministry this past week, was because at the heart of every change, right, you have to have God. You have to invite God into your life to help you change so that you can accomplish goals, right? It's what allows you to have sustainable changes, right? If those changes are driven by God. Okay, so what does the Bible say about goals, right? In Proverbs 21:5, it says, "The plans of the diligent lead surely to abundance, but everyone who is hasty comes only to poverty," right? So what does that mean? It means you have to ensure that you have a plan in place to accomplish a task that is critical to success, okay? What else does God say about goals? Well, Proverbs 16:9 says, "The heart of man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his step." So at the very heart of this, whatever goal you're trying to accomplish, you need to let God into it and allow God to lead you to the why. Why are you doing this goal? And that's ultimately what I had to do, right? Even for something like a physical accomplishment, like wanting to run a mile without stopping, okay? I actually had to pray about it and figure out what's my real reason, right? It's not so that I can do something that 95% of Americans can't do. That's not a good enough reason. So I thought about it, right? And I prayed about it, and I allowed God into my heart to tell me, why is it all of a sudden I wanted to have this goal of running a mile? Because I can tell you, I hate running. It's not something that I would just go out of my way to do. So why has this thought been persisting for the last month or so? Okay. And what God actually opened my eyes to is I need to figure out how to do this, how to get myself fit enough to actually run a mile without stopping, so that if for whatever reason I find myself in a position where I had to do it, right? I had to do it to help my family, to help a stranger, right? It was critical to somebody's safety, even my safety. I would need to be able to do that. And right now, I'm telling you, I can't. At least not in the real world. I can run a mile on a treadmill, no problem, right? But that's 100% controlled environment. I can't do that in the real world. I'm constantly having to stop because the real world has valleys and hills and things like that makes running a lot harder. So at the end of the day, what I realized is I wanted to do this so that I could keep myself in the best physical condition possible, so that if I had to do it for someone's safety, my family's safety, helping somebody out, I would be able to do that, okay? So the whys are very, very important when it comes to setting a goal, right? And again, you really got to ask yourself, what does God say about this, right? Because we might have our ideas and what we want to accomplish and what our plans are, but God will ultimately accomplish his sovereign desires when it comes to your life. And that's the best way to live, right? So why not just allow God in to begin with, to start the process with, from a goal setting perspective, okay? So when it comes to goals, it's really, really important to pray about it first, right? Do your goals make room for the unexpected? Are we really ensuring that we love God's will over ours and we're allowing God to guide our decisions when it comes to making goals? Write it down, right? Write down your goals. Writing down your goals provides clarity, aligns your focus, and actually this is a really cool thing. There's a ton of research on it. It improves what's known as the encoding process. And the encoding process is when information gets taken into your brain and transferred into your memory centers. It actually helps improve your memory, right? It helps the brain encoding process when it comes to information, right? Be specific. Have measurements of success, okay? Make your goals attainable, but don't make them easy, right? When I first set off to this goal of I'm going to run a mile, I literally had no baseline, right? I had no idea how fast I could run a mile, or if I could actually run a mile without stopping, because honestly, I didn't do it. I hate running. So first time I do it, and it was a disaster show. Like, oh my gosh. I was stopping every couple hundred yards, walking for 100 yards, running again, stopping, walking. So it was difficult. And I was a little bit frustrated, but I realized goals take time. You have to make them attainable, but they cannot be easy, right? And then, so I had a baseline. And then when I happened to be at a hotel, I said, let me see how fast I can run a mile on a treadmill, or can I do it without slowing down? And what I realized was I can run a mile on a treadmill, no problems, but that's a perfect environment. So as a result, now I had a baseline. I decided to change my goal to make it more specific, right? Run a mile without stopping on my property, with all the hills and valleys and ups and downs that come with running outside. Because if I ever had to do something, if I ever had to run a mile in real life, it wouldn't be on a treadmill. It would be on the property. It would be outside, on the road, where there's ups and downs, unexpected obstacles. So that's really how I should focus my goal, okay? So when you're thinking about goal setting, this is an important task. It allows you that focus. It allows you that mental clarity, and letting God into the process really does help you understand, why am I trying to accomplish a goal, right? Because without that understanding, you lose that motivation, right, to keep going. Because trying to attain a goal, it's a lot of work. I was just outside running on my driveway for a mile, and I wanted to quit, but I have a goal, and I've given myself 3 months to try to run a mile without stopping on my property. And I'm going to reach that goal. It just takes a lot of work to put into it. But without having God in on the plan, in on the goal, helping me understand what my true motivations were to do it, I wouldn't have the motivation to continue, right? You need God involved in the process. So I just wanted to make sure I talked about that. I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and I'll talk to you later.